This video is sponsored by SquareSpace. Personally, I just can't beat the thrill of riding a mountain bike, and in this video I'm going to share 6 of the most interesting and exciting new mountain bikes available in 2023. These are all short to medium travel trail bikes, bikes that are fast and efficient for climbing, but also fun and capable when descending. So perfect, do everything in bikes that excel everywhere, my type of mountain bike. So without further ado, let's dive in. Marin is a popular US bike brand with a long history, and today they are well known for offering amazing value for money, but also bikes that are super fun to ride, and the Rift Zone is a highlight in their range in my personal opinion. You have a choice of alloy or carbon frames to suit budget, and a geometry that definitely suits aggressive trail riding. And new for 2023, the travel has been bumped up, so it's now 130 rear and 140 front, while the geometry is now slacker in the head angle and steeper in the seat angle, so it should be even fruitier. I can't wait to ride a bike, it sounds amazing on paper. And it's also good value for money too, with the alloy version starting at just $1,800, so making it a really accessible option, and topping out at just $3,500, at which point the carbon model takes over, starting at $3,800 and go right up to just under $5,000. And there's also an XR or extra rad version if the normal version isn't quite rad enough for you. One of my all-time favourite mountain bikes from the last few years is the Yeti Izzo, a great short travel trail bike that's good at climbing but also very good at descending, a perfect do-it-all bike. It really is a short travel trail ripper that's light enough to climb fast, but the geometry and suspension won't hold you back on the way back down. And it's a bike you can build light and fast, like the bold yellow uncaged model with a RockShox SID suspension fork and fast rolling tyres. So a bike you can take racing, do marathon rides on it, no problem at all. Or with the same frame, you go burlier with a set of Fox 34 forks, wider handlebar and chunkier tyres for rad times. A really versatile option this. And because YT, like Canyon, sell direct, there are no bike shops or bike arrives in a box, the value for money is really strong. Prices for the YT Izzo start at $3,300 for a model with a Fox 34 fork and SRAM NX drivetrain, and all models use the same carbon mainframe and carbon linkage as well. So a really good pick for a versatile option for racing or just trail riding. Some really nice details on it as well, and good value for money too. The Tallboy from Santa Cruz has long been a personal favourite. I ran the original as a long-termer and has been updated loads and loads over the years, and still remains a really solid, no-nonsense choice, although it's not quite good value for money as the YT I showed you just now. Definitely an expensive option, and for 2023 it's had another update, making it even better than before. So while the suspension travel on the new bike is the same as the old bike, 120 out back and 130 up front, enough travel to keep you moving on rough terrain, but light and efficient enough to pedal all day. The geometry has been updated. There's also now a storage compartment in the down tube, and that alone might not seem a big deal, but I'd happily see this on all mountain bikes. A really useful feature for carrying snacks and tools inside a frame. The only downside with the Tallboy is the price. Bills start from over $5,000 and go right up to over $10,000. So a very expensive option, definitely the pricier bike in the video, but despite the high prices, Santa Cruz remains a really popular choice. And it's easy to see why the Tallboy is so popular. It's a great looking bike, available in a nice range of colours with lots of smart details. Now, before we carry on any further, I need to tell you about today's sponsor, SquareSpace. SquareSpace is the easy way to make your own website. Whether you need a website to show off your brand, an online store to sell cool products, or just want to start blogging, with SquareSpace it really couldn't be any simpler. There are tons of templates to choose from, the interface is intuitive, and there are loads of tools including powerful analytics, and you can also connect your social media profiles as well. So I'm using it right now to make a Just Ride Bike website for behind the scenes access, more video and blog content, and also sell my own merch, t-shirts, hats and mugs available right now, and hopefully launching in 2023. And with Squarespace, well really it couldn't be any easier, even for me. And right now you can get 10% off your first purchase by using my special code at the link down below in the description. Okay, let's carry on. Trek might not be as sexy or cool as Santa Cruz, but the fuel has long been a popular choice, and a bike that has changed loads over the years. I remember back in 2005 it had just 100 mil of travel, so a cross-country race bike by today's standards. But over the years it's been updated, refined and improved, and the new bike looks an absolute cracker. The new Fuel EX is a slightly funky and odd looking bike, if I'm honest, not really that attractive to my eyes, but the details look good. You get 150mm of travel up front and 140 out back, with a unique ABP rear axle pivot providing super active suspension, and that rear suspension is adjustable. You can make it more or less progressive to suit your trails and riding style. So more progressive and more support for fast, flowy, smooth trails, or less progressive and more linear for rocky, chundery trails. And a Trek, like a Santa Cruz, also gets a down tube storage compartment for your snacks and tools. And with Trek being a massive corporation, there's a wide range of options at a wide range of price points. And prices start at $2,700 and then go right up to nearly $10,000. But quite a few options down that entry level to mid-range compared to Santa Cruz, which doesn't really serve that lower end as well. So money is tight and value is important. The Trek is definitely a good option. A few years ago I rode the Yeti SB120 and generally I was super impressed with it, but the geometry really held it back compared to where modern trail bikes are going. But thankfully we had the brand new SB120, which seemed to address all the issues I had with the old bike whilst retaining everything I loved about it. It's a great looking bike on paper, not the cheapest or most affordable option, but an amazing looking bike nonetheless. The SB120 is still short on suspension travel, just 120 out back, hence the name, but now the geometry is bang up to date, so it should be a lot more capable and a lot more fun to ride. And proving you don't need a lot of suspension travel to go fast over rough terrain. The new geometry means a longer reach, a slacker head angle and a steeper seat angle, which should mean it both descends and climbs better than the old SB115. Meanwhile, it retains the same unique suspension with a Switch Infinity linkage that, despite durability concerns, appears to be doing mostly just fine. But like I said, it's a pricey option. You pay for the good looks and the Yeti heritage, with bills starting at $4,300 going all the way up to over $12,000, making it one of the most expensive bikes in this video. The Canyon Spectral 125 I reviewed last year is definitely a bike worth considering if you want a short travel but highly capable trail bike. Short on travel it may be, but big on capability thanks to its progressive geometry. This is a bike for those people who feel they don't need all that suspension travel or bigger, birdier bikes, with 125 dished out by Canyon's rear suspension design. But up front you get a beefy and burly 150mm travel Fox 36 fork, and that combined with a slack geometry on the Spectral 125 means it's definitely a bike that won't hold you back on technical gnarly trails where you think you might need a bigger travel bike. The only downside is that it's not the lightest and the weight is very close to a longer travel 150 bike for example, and definitely not a bike like the YT Izzo for example that you could use for a cross country or marathon race. It's definitely a bike for plummeting down your favourite descents and then spinning your way back to the top. And being Canyon, the value for money is really good, with the alloy version starting at $2,900 and the carbon version starting at $4,200. So plenty of options for plenty of budgets. And if you want to see a full review of that Canyon Spectral 125, you can do it by watching the video right up here. Okay, that's all today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again very soon.